Hi, this video will demonstrate an example of adding rational expressions. So as you see here, we have an addition sign instead of a multiplication or division. Just like when you add fractions, before we can do anything, we have to find a common denominator. So what I'm going to look for is the least common multiple, all right, of my two denominators. So first I'm going to look at factor them. Here, I'm looking for paired factors of -6 that sum to a +1. They are 3, so this is going to be t plus 3, and -2, t minus 2. If you're having difficulty factoring, you need to watch those videos. All right. So now let's factor this denominator here. Here I see I have a perfect square, t squared, and here I have a perfect square. 3 squared is 9. And a subtraction sign in the middle. So applying what we call Mr. Formula, we get t plus 3, t minus 3. And now, in order to determine my least common multiple, I list each factor the most number of times it occurs. So let's start with t plus 3. I see I have a t plus 3 in this first problem, or this first denominator, and I have a t plus 3 in my second one. So the most number of times it occurs is once, so that's a factor, t plus 3. Now let's look at t minus 2. I have it here, but I don't have it here. However, since it occurred once, I have to list it. And once is the most number of times it occurs, so I only list it once. And finally, I have a t minus 3. Again, it does not occur over here, but because it occurs once, I have to list it. All right, so my least common multiple is going to be t plus 3, t minus 2, t minus 3. So first, I want to get my first term, which is 2 over, and now I'm going to write the denominator in terms of its factors, t plus 3, t minus 2. So first I want to get this first term in terms of my common denominator, which is t plus 3, t minus 2, and t minus 3. Okay, so notice here, in order to get this denominator, what is missing from my denominator over here, and that is the t minus 3. So I have to multiply my denominator by t minus 3 to go from here to here. And whatever I multiply my denominator by, I have to multiply my numerator by. So this is going to be 2t minus 3. Next, I want to get my second term in terms of my common denominator. So I'm going to rewrite it in terms of its factors, which is t plus 3, t minus 3. And I want to get it in terms of that new least common multiple, or common denominator, which is t plus 3, t minus 2, and t minus 3. Okay? So notice here that my denominator is missing the t minus 2 part. So in order to get this in terms of this denominator, I need to multiply the denominator by t minus 2. And whatever I do in the denominator, I need to do in the numerator. So I'm going to multiply the numerator by t minus 2, and I get 3t minus 2. Now that I have each one of these terms, this one and this one, in terms of my common denominator, I'm now ready to actually perform the addition. So if I set up the problem, it's going to be 2t minus 3 over t plus 3, t minus 2, t minus 3. And I'm going to add to that my second term, which ended up being 3t minus 2 over the same denominator, t plus 3, t minus 2, and t minus 3. Okay. Now notice, before I do the operation here, I can actually further expand this to 2t minus 6, and this is actually 3t minus 6. Okay. So now remember, whenever we add a fraction and we have a common denominator, we're going to keep our denominator. It's just going to stay exactly the same. So my denominator is going to be t plus 3, t minus 2, and t minus 3. And then I perform the operation in the numerator. So here I'd have 2t plus a 3t, so I'm going to end up with a 5t. And here I'd have a negative 6 plus a negative 6, which is going to give me minus 12. So this is my answer. Again, this was an addition problem. You want to always check what operation you're doing. And remember, if we're adding or subtracting rational expressions, we have to do it in terms of a common denominator.